everybody, Malinka here, and hello in 2015. I hope you're all well and you had a great New Year's Eve celebration. I'm a bit behind with the videos and I decided today to make a quick review of what I read in December. I only read 3 books because I was busy with my exams and I was very lazy. I don't know how other people are during the holidays, but I cannot do anything, not even eat. I was that lazy. I was just doing nothing. So in December I read George Orwell 1984. It absolutely blew my mind. 5 stars, no doubt. I love the style of George Orwell, and this book was the best one that I read of George Orwell. I thought that Animal Farm was the best, but this one is just perfect. The story starts in 1984 with Winston, just a typical guy, and he starts feeling that the regime and the life that he lives, it's not the best one that he can have. Back in 1984, the world is divided only 3 countries: Oceania, Eurasia and Eastasia, and they're always at war. And he lives in London in Oceania, and there is one party, only Big Brother, and they have this hatred towards the other 2 countries, and everybody has to hate them, and they have 2 minutes of hate every day, and their life is very structured and very planned ahead by the party, and they're not allowed to do anything else, and they have screens in their houses just to check on them to see if they are doing everything according to the party's plans. And the police is very involved, and they can catch you to do thought crime. I mean, if you're thinking something that is not according to the party's plan, they can catch you and they can just execute you or trial or imprison you with any explanation. So he starts a journal, which was forbidden, of course. He buys a journal from the simple people, which were not manipulated by the party, and he starts writing his feelings, all his hatred against this character, Big Brother. And the funny thing is that Big Brother doesn't even show up like a character. It's just a mythical person that is presented only in pictures, only in parades and stuff like that. And it's his life changes after Julia sends him a message saying "I love you," and they start this adventure. And for the first time in their lives, he is happy, she is happy, they have this secret, and they find a place where they can meet without being supervised, and all hell breaks down once they are caught. And that's where everything I thought that I knew about this book, or everything I understood from this book, absolutely changed. And this is why this book is so brilliant. It shows the level of manipulation a party or a structure or an organization can have in the life of human beings. And this is very possible. That's why it scared me so much, because with the technique, with the IT tools that we have now, this is very possible. And I think that this is the point of the book, that if we're not very careful, we can find ourselves in that situation when you have no privacy, and when some organization or some party is dictating your life. And the ending was absolutely just blew my mind. And while I was reading, I was loving it, then hating it, then loving it, then hating it. At the end, I have to appreciate this book as a work of art. I couldn't identify with Julie as a character. She's nothing like I would have liked her to be, but Winston was closer to me because he was a rebel. He started to fight against the regime, and that's what I liked. God, I think I will love this book for a very long time, so give it a try if you have not read it. If you have read it, congratulations. I would love to talk about it. Next I read Villette by Bronte. This is her last novel, and it's one of the most complex novels that she wrote. I loved Jane Eyre, I loved Villette, but still Jane Eyre is going to be my favorite one. This is a more complex one. I can tell that the style is more mature, the characters behave more mature, It's very similar to her first novel, The Professor, but there the professor is it's a male character. Here we have what's her name? Lucy Snow. Oh my god, I already forgot the character. It's quite a big book, and it is a long read, but it presents a world very, very well described, and the characters are very well described, and they develop very much and they mature. I think that's the word that I keep remembering about this book. It's all about the mature world and consequences of your choices and all that stuff. I really liked it. However, Jane Eyre will remain in my heart. Jane Eyre will beat Villette. I'm sorry. And the very last book that I read, May Contain Nuts, by John O'Farrell. So this guy wrote from the perspective of a woman. The story is of a woman in Great Britain that she's a stay-at-home mom. She has 3 kids, and she wants all the best for her kids. She wants the best schools, the best computers, the best toys, everything the best. And her husband is working, she's not working, and she goes to a lot of trouble to ensure that her kids has the best things. At the same time, the kids are not that interested. They're a bit spoiled, they are not appreciative, and I don't know how much I want to give up, but this book was not funny. I was expecting it to be funny, but I think it has this dry humor or black humor, or I don't know, ironic humor, or I don't know how to call it. It basically contains all the stereotypes that you can think of, but not in a funny way. So the stay-at-home mom is not that bright. She's a bit on the silly side, and she knows about this and she feels bad about this, and she wants her kids to be super brilliant, but her kids are not, so she does everything for them. She pushes them to do everything. Then she meets a family of African heritage people that live in London, and they live in a poor neighborhood, and I mean, all the stereotypes that you can think of, everything is in here, everything. And then her friends are stuck-up rich people that are snobs, and oh, it wasn't funny, honestly. For me, it wasn't. It was just not my thing. 2 stars, give it a try if you will, but it's not my thing. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you read my favorite 1984. I would love to see what you thought about it.